Hey guys, welcome back to Yogi Plant. Today we're doing yoga from a new or different perspective. So as you can see, I've switched up the angle for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is maybe just to show you a different angle than you're used to seeing yoga being done. I'm hoping it might give you some new ideas or some insights to different poses that maybe you didn't know before. And if anything, it's just kind of fun to switch it up. So tonight's our mixtape session. It's going to be really fun. Thanks for all of your submissions. We're actually going to do the next two sessions as mixtape because I had so many that I wanted to sequence them properly. So I decided to do the next two sessions. So if you don't see one of your requests today, it's because it's coming tomorrow. I mean, next week. So tonight we're going to use a block, which I'm sure you guys already have. And then if you have access to a strap, you're going to want to grab that or a sock or something. And then maybe just in your mind, make note of where you can access the wall. Just for one standing pose. It's not going to be a lot, but you might want to just make a mental note of where you can go if you want to use the wall today. All right. So we're going to get started in Sukhasana. And so cross-legged or easy pose. Gonna tip my sweater off. We're going to come down to our mats. We're finding our yoga breath. Bringing our awareness to here and now, leaving the world outside for this hour. Sitting up straight. Letting those shoulders drop down your back. Maybe counting the seconds or the count of how long you inhale and matching that count for how long you exhale. And tonight we're going to start off with some nadi shodhana breathing. So you'll remember it from our previous classes. So basically, you're going to put your hand, your thumb's going to stick out, your ring finger is going to stick out, and your pinky finger is going to stick out like a hang loose kind of. And pretty much the rule of thumb for nadi shodhana is the pause after you inhale is when you switch nostrils. So we inhale to start, plug our right nostril with our right thumb, exhale, inhale through our left nostril, and on that pause, that's when we switch nostrils and exhale. So I'm going to let you guys go through nadi shodhana for 10 counts. So each time you do the right thumb, that counts as 1. All right, and then we'll meet here back in easy pose. So go ahead and start your nadi shodhana. So as you're finding yourself coming to the end of your nadi shodhana breathing, you'll be ending on the left nostril. We're just going to move into some neck stretches. So we're going to take our hands, maybe put them behind our thighs here. And on an exhale, we're just going to tilt our head to the right. And sometimes we put some weight onto our head. I think tonight we'll just let gravity do its job here. See how that feels. And maybe on your next exhale, looking down to your right. Keeping those shoulders dropping down your back. Inhaling, coming to center. Exhaling, tilting your head to the left. And as you exhale, looking down to your left. Inhaling, coming to center. And as you exhale, just looking up slightly. On an exhale, dropping your chin all the way down to your chest. Engaging that Jalahara Bandha. The anti-text neck. And inhaling, looking up. We're going to move into a seated gate pose. So we're going to put our right hand to our right here and inhale our left hand up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach our palm towards our right hand side. And if it feels okay, we're going to look up at the sky or the ceiling. If you like, you can take your right hand, put it behind you. Challenge yourself a little more to balance on your sit bones. And on an inhale, coming up. Exhaling our arm down. Same thing on the other side, inhaling your right hand up. And as you exhale, reaching to the left. And you can wrap that back arm around if you like. Inhaling, coming up. And exhaling your hand down. We're going to move into a bound angle pose here. So I'm still sitting on my block. Just take our feet and put them together for a moment. And bring our feet in towards our bodies. And then we're just going to open up our foot a little bit here and inhale, looking up. And as we exhale, we're going to take our toes, put them together with our hands, and fold forward. If you're sitting on a block, you'll find you'll have a little more leverage here to fold forward. Letting our knees fall to either side. Couple more breaths here. And on an inhale, come up. Then move now into cat face pose. So we're just gonna take our feet with our knees up, so our feet are on the mat, and then we're just gonna stack our knees on top of each other. So the left knee is down and the right knee is on top, or as best as we can. We'll grab our straps here, inhale our arms up, take our right hand, scooch it back behind our shoulders, and as we exhale, we'll drop our strap down to find our right hand. Sitting up tall here. And as always, if you can bind your hands together, feel free to do that. Engaging your navel. Breathing through that third eye chakra. And on your next exhale, just releasing. So we're going to switch our knees up here. So our right knee now is going to be on the bottom. Our left knee is going to be on top. Your strap's going to be in your right hand. Inhaling it up. Scooching that left hand up between your shoulder blades. And as you exhale, dropping your hand down so that both hands are either grabbing the strap or binding. Engaging your navel here, drawing that lower abdomen in, strengthening your core. One more breath here. And on an exhale, we're going to drop our hands down. You can put your strap down. And then we're going to make our way to our knees and our hands. And we're going to move into tabletop. Tabletop from the front. Oh, there's something weird on my rug here. It's always interesting what you find when you do your online yoga. So you'll see my wrists are underneath my shoulders here, and my knees are underneath my hips. My fingers are spread wide, and I'm engaging my navel, and I'm looking kind of like ahead at the ground. And on an inhale, I'm going to curl my forehead up and my tailbone, coming into cow. And on an exhale, I'm going to do the opposite. So my forehead, my tailbone both face the ground. And then we're going to keep doing this. Do the rhythm of our breaths for a few rounds. Being sure to mindfully move through your spine, through your shoulders. Engaging those abdominals when you move into cat. And letting them go when you're in cat. Couple more times here. Then after your last cat, we'll meet in tabletop. So on your next exhale, we're going to flip our toes and lift our bums to the ceiling. Coming into our first downward dog. You'll see I always check my fingers first so that they're spread wide. And then I check my heels to make sure they're hiding behind my feet.
And then if you like, you could, I was gonna say wag, move side to side. You can move your knees here, do a little bit of a back and forth. And then you come into a nice, strong downward dog. Your drishti up at your navel or your high upper thigh. And we're pushing through that fleshy part just under our thumbs. All the while lifting our tailbone towards the ceiling. And on your next exhale, we're going to bend our knees, kind of like a frog. Inhaling, big step forward to the front of the mat. Exhaling down and forward fold. So as you can see, my hands are touching the mat here and my knees are bent so that my hands can touch the mat. Once I'm safely in this position, I work to straighten my knees just a little bit and keeping my hands on the mat. And that, my friends, is a safe forward fold. We're going to inhale our hands up to our shins into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling our hands back down to the ground. And on an inhale, we're going to bring our hands all the way up to the ceiling into salute. And as we exhale, we're going to come down through Samastiti into Tadasana. So we're going to find our stance in Tadasana here, pulling that energy up to the ground, engaging our kneecaps, engaging our leg muscles, engaging our navel. Opening up that collarbone up to the ceiling. Maybe opening up our hands if that feels okay today. And we're going to move to Sun Salutation A with a bit of a, I was going to say twist, but it's more like a plank. We're going to inhale our hands up to the ceiling. We're going to exhale our hands down to forward fold. Inhaling up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, looking straight ahead. Exhaling back down. Taking our right foot, stepping it back, coming into a low lunge. So as you can see, both sets of my toes are facing the front of the mat. Holding this for a breath. Exhaling our left leg back. So here we are in plank. So you can choose to drop your knees down if you like, or you can stay in full plank. We're going to go into a side plank. So if your knees are down, you're just going to take your right hand and shift your body so that your pelvis is now facing the side of the mat, and inhale your right hand up. One more breath here. Exhaling your right hand down. Coming into your version of plank. I'm going to stay on my knees here. We're going to do it on the other side. So we're going to turn our body so that our pelvis is facing the other side of the mat, and we're going to inhale our left hand up. Trying not to collapse in the hip area, lifting that left hip up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Exhaling our left hand down. So you can come into full plank again if you like, or keep your knees on the ground. Exhaling, bending our elbows, keeping them close to our body, all the way down. Inhaling up through baby cobra. So I'm lifting my head and my chest off the ground here. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop, and exhaling, lifting ourselves up into downward dog. Once again, remembering to gaze up towards your navel or your upper thighs. Turning those elbow pits up towards the front of the mat. Continuing your yoga breath here. Then on the exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Inhaling, big step forward, coming to the front of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up, halfway. Exhaling our hands back down. Inhaling up all the way. Hands to the ceiling and salute. Exhaling our hands down through prayer and into Tadasana. Good job, everybody. Okay, so we're going to do sun salutation B, and I always like to have a little fun with it. One thing I'd like you to try, if you're into it tonight, is opening up your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to inhale our hands up to salute. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down through prayer, bending our knees, coming into chair. So as you can see, my knees are not together today. And I'm not sure if you guys are noticing this or not, but when I'm in like a wider chair, I can actually get a little further down. Go a little bit lower. And I can still see the tops of my toes. On exhale, we're going to take our hands down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale our hands back down to the mat. Step back with our left foot this time, coming into a low lunge. Holding for our breath, and as we exhale, we're going to step our right foot back to meet our left. Holding our version of plank. And as we exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Inhaling up a little bit into cobra. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. Finding our alignment, and then as we exhale, lifting our bums to the sky in downward dog. Once again, making sure your fingers are spread. Letting your yoga breath help you through this pose. Keeping you centered. Dropping those shoulders further down your back. And on the exhale, we're going to bend our legs, bending our knees. Inhaling, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up, halfway. Exhaling our hands back down to the mat. And we're going to step our right foot back, opening up the back foot about 45 degrees, keeping that left knee bent over your left ankle, inhaling our hands up to our waist. And if that's feeling good, inhaling our hands all the way up, either in prayer or opening up to the ceiling. And our drishti, or our gaze, is up towards the ceiling. One more breath. So we're going to drop our hands down to our side, and we're actually going to pivot that front foot towards the side of the mat, pivoting the back foot so that both feet are parallel to the front and the back of the mat. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward bend. Inhale our hands up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the mat, getting that little micro bend in the knees. Inhaling, looking up. And as we exhale, we're going to walk our hands back between our legs. If it feels okay here, you can let your head fall a little bit, giving your neck a rest. Your elbows are pointing towards the back of you. Try engaging your navel as you're in this pose, keeping your core strong. And on your next inhale, we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Exhaling here, and then inhaling up all the way. And on an exhale, we're just going to scooch back to the front of our mat. We're going to inhale up to salute, exhaling our hands down to forward fold, inhaling up halfway, exhaling our hands back down. This time, as we exhale, we're going to step our left foot back, coming into a warrior one. So your right knee over top of your right foot, your back foot's out about 45 degrees, inhaling our hands to our hips. And on your next inhale, lifting your hands in whatever way you would like tonight. One more breath here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to either side of our foot. We're going to pivot our back foot so that our toes are facing the front of the mat. We're in a low lunge. And then we're going to take our right foot to meet our left foot in the back. Coming into plank, we're going to exhale, lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up to baby cobra. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. And on an exhale, lifting our bums to the sky for downward dog. You might try lowering your heels just a little bit lower, looking up a little bit higher to your navel, pushing through those fleshy part of your thumb, pushing through the top part of your palm. And on an exhale, bend our knees, inhaling, big step forward, bringing both feet to the front of the mat, exhaling down, forward fold, inhaling up halfway, exhaling our hands back down, bending our knees now, inhaling up to prayer. So you're in chair, holding for a breath here. And on our next inhale, straightening up, palms to the ceiling in salute, and exhaling our hands down. All right. Okay, so now's the time we get to do tree. So you might want to shake it out just a little bit. All right, we're going to shift our weight to our left foot. We're going to inhale our hands to our waist, bringing our foot up however you would like, either to your calf or your inner thigh. And when you're feeling good, bring your hands into prayer. Finding that spot on the wall, that's your favorite thing to look at right now. And maybe inhaling your hands to the air, waving them like you just don't care. On the exhale, we'll bring our right foot down. And we're going to come into one-legged Tadasana on the left leg. So we're going to inhale our hands up, knee up. And as we exhale, we're going to step back. We're turning our foot just slightly so that our toes and our back foot are facing the top right-hand corner of our mat. We're going to come into pyramid here. We're going to grab our elbows behind our back, inhaling, looking up, opening your chest up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, folding at the hips. And your drishti or your gaze is either at your shin or your big toe. You don't want to strain your neck here, so whatever is comfortable for your neck. Maintaining that yoga breath. And on your next exhale, we're just going to take our hands down to the mat or to our thighs, or sorry, our shins. If you have your block handy, just going to grab it with your right hand, bring it to the inside of your right foot. We're going to come into reversed triangle here. So on an inhale, we're going to take our left hand, raise it up into the sky, turning our core towards the left-hand side. Finding that sweet height on your block, or maybe your hands on the mat. One more breath here. Exhaling your left hand down. Inhaling your hands up to your waist. And as we exhale, we're going to come to the front of the mat. All right, so you're going to want to take your block now, put it on the left-hand side, because we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. So we're going to start with tree, shifting our weight to our right-hand side. As we inhale, we're going to put our hands on our hips, bringing our left foot to the inside of our calf or the inside of our thigh. If it feels okay, bringing your hands into prayer here. And feel free to lift your hands into the air. One more breath here. And as we exhale, we'll release. Coming into one-legged Tadasana. Now we're going to lift our left knee and our arms into the air. And as we exhale, we're going to step back. Ooh. So once again, your back toes now are facing the top left-hand corner of your mat. We're going to grab our elbows the opposite side, so it's the one that feels weird to you probably. Inhaling, opening up our chest to the ceiling. Exhaling, pulling out the waist. If you find your little topsy-turvy here, you can always widen your stance. So that's taking your stance out that way. That will give you a little more stability. And on your next exhale, bring your arms down towards the mat, or they could be on your shin. We're going to take our block now on our left-hand side. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our right hand into the air. Coming into revolve triangle on the other side. Your drishti is either ahead of you or up at the ceiling. And on an exhale, we're going to bring our hands down. Inhaling our hands up to our waist, coming up all the way. And exhaling, coming to the front of our back. All right, guys, we're going to do a new pose for our group. It's called either Lord of the Dance or Dancer Pose. I'm going to do somewhat of a modified version from the front. And then I'm going to turn around and show you how you can use the wall to do this pose as well. So it's up to you if you want to try first without the wall, or if you'd like to situate yourself close to the wall if you're at the wall right now, you're going to want to be standing about an arm's distance away from the wall. All right. So we're going to take our right foot and just step it back just slightly, a little bit behind us. Our toes are facing the front of our mat. And then as we inhale, we're going to grab our right foot, letting our knee push back behind us. And as we inhale, we're going to raise our left hand into the sky, coming into a slightly modified downstairs pose. So I'm going to go now. You can release if you like and then go into it again. I'm going to go from the side here and use the wall. So I'm about arm's distance away from the wall. So same thing, I'm going to step my right foot back a little bit. Get this out of the way. And then I'm inhaling my right foot to my hand and I'm pushing my knee away from me. And so as you can see, I'm holding the wall for support. I'm supposed to be looking straight ahead of me. And I'm going to lift my left hand into the air, the palm facing behind me. And as I'm lifting my hand, I'm leaning into the wall and at the same time pushing my right knee away from me. You don't want to have your leg that's on the ground, your foot that's on the ground. You don't want to have your knee locked here. You want to give it a little bit of a micro bend. So the good thing about the wall is you can actually move quite deep into this pose, or if you want to try it on your own, maybe just stepping a little bit away from the wall or moving a little bit away from the wall. We're going to exhale and release here. So I'm just going to do that on the other side and still use the wall. So my feet are about hip distance apart. I'm going to step my left foot back. And as I inhale, I'm going to grab my left foot, pushing my knee away from me. And at the same time, lifting my right hand, palm facing behind me, pushing my left knee away from me. My right knee has an itty bitty bend in it. So that's enough. That's one we can definitely practice again. I look forward to it. There's a lot going on with Dancer Pose or Lord of the Dance. We're all going to meet at the front of our mats here. We're going to inhale our hands up to salute. Nice big stretch up towards the ceiling. You can even give yourself a little bit of a back bend here. Exhaling our hands all the way down to the floor. Coming into a nice forward bend here. We're going to hold this for a little bit longer. So you can keep your hands on the mat or you can grab your toes. If you have your toes grabbed, you can look up a little bit. Inhaling, and then as you exhale, folding forward just a little bit more. Being sure to keep your tummy on your knees or on your thighs. And then working towards straightening those knees, even just a little bit, as you keep your tummy on your thighs. And remembering to keep that core engaged. I know there's a lot to remember. If you're holding your toes, you can let them go. Inhaling up halfway into Ardha Uttanasana. Letting those shoulders drop down your back. Exhaling your hands back down. Taking a step back with your right foot into low lunge. And then taking your left foot to meet your right. Coming into plank. And as we exhale, we're going to look all the way down. All right, so from here, we're going to come into locust. So your face is going to be on the ground. Your hands, you can release them so that your tops of your hands are on the ground and your palms are facing up. Just going to grab a breath here. We're going to push our pubic bone into the floor. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our chest up off the floor.
with our hands. And then we're gonna also raise our feet up off the floor. Or like super locust. One more breath here. Exhaling down. We're going to inhale up through tabletop. And then we're going to exhale into child's pose. So you choose where you want your hands to go, whether they're out in front of you or around your body. Couple more breaths here. We're going to inhale, coming to sitting. We're going to bring ourselves into Sukhasana. I'm just going to move a little closer to you guys. Feel so far away. Okay, so here we are in Sukhasana. I'm sitting on my block. I invite you to join me. We're going to move into a simple twist here. So as we inhale, we're going to engage our navel. We're going to take our left hand, put it on our right knee, right hand goes behind us. And as we exhale, we're going to turn through our navel to our right hand. And on our next exhale, we're going to face forward. Same thing on the other side. We're going to inhale, engaging our navel, drawing that lower belly in, bringing our right hand to our left knee, left hand behind us. And as we exhale, twisting to our left hand side. So remember with twists, as you inhale, sitting up straight. And as you exhale, possibly twisting a little more if that feels okay. And on your next exhale, we'll face forward. Just going to check the time here and see if we have time for one more. Oh yeah, of course we do. Okay, we're going to do one more twist here. So we're going to take our left knee and leave it on the floor here. Take our right foot and put it on the outside of our left knee. Left hand is going to just gently hold our right knee. And as we inhale, we're going to sit up straight, right hand behind us. That was a lot of lefts and rights there. And then as we exhale, turning towards our right hand side. Remembering to engage that navel, drawing in your lower tummy as you twist to the right here. Really finding that twist through your core. And as we exhale, coming to center. You need to breathe here as you switch it up. So now your right knee is going to be on the floor. Your left foot is going to be outside of your right knee. Right hand is on your left knee. Left hand behind you. We're going to inhale, sitting up tall. And as we exhale, we're going to twist through our navel to the left. One more breath here. All right, guys. So we're gonna lay down on our mats. I'm gonna turn the other way.
so you kind of have a good view of my legs here. So we're gonna bring our backs down to our mat, and we're gonna come into reclined child's pose, hugging our knees into our chest. Remembering to drop your shoulders onto your mat. Maybe giving your ankles a little roll here. Drawing a little circle with your feet one way and then the other. And as we exhale, we're going to let the soles of our feet fall down to our mat with our knees up. And we're going to take our left foot and cross it on our right leg. So we're coming into figure 4 or reclined pigeon. We're going to inhale our foot off the mat, grabbing our hands are going to grab the back of our right thigh. And as we exhale, we're going to pull our right thigh in towards our chest. One of the challenges of reclined pigeon is keeping those shoulders back on the mat as we pull our right thigh in towards our chest. And at any time you're thinking this feels too easy, just pull your right thigh in a little bit closer towards your chest. On an exhale, we're going to put our foot back down, letting our thigh go, putting our left foot down on the mat, knees up. This time we're going to cross our right foot onto our left thigh. We're going to inhale our hands to our left thigh. Left foot is off the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our left thigh in towards our chest. It most likely feels different on each side for you. One side might be a little more flexible than the other. A couple more breaths here. And on an exhale, we'll release our leg, bring both feet to the mat, keeping those knees bent. And on an inhale, we're going to just grab our knees one more time in reclined child's pose. Hold for a couple breaths here. We're going to move to happy baby. So we're going to take our hands and just move them in through our thighs to grab our feet or our toes or our ankles, wherever you can grab onto. Your knees are bent towards your chest. And as you inhale, lift the soles up towards the ceiling. Coming into happy baby here. Feel free to rock around a little bit if you're comfortable and that feels good. One more breath here. And as we exhale, we'll release our feet, letting our legs fall down towards our mat so our legs are straight. We're going to inhale our arms up into cactus pose or out into a T. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our left knee up. Exhaling, letting our left knee fall to the right as we turn our foreheads to the left. Coming into a reclined twist here. You'll find your left hip naturally comes up off the floor. You might find your yoga breath softening here as you're relaxing into the pose. On an inhale, we'll bring our knee up, forehead facing the ceiling, exhaling everything down. Other side now, inhaling, right knee up. Exhaling, right knee to the left as we twist, turn our forehead to the right. Couple more breaths here. As we inhale, we're going to bring our knee up, forehead facing the ceiling. Exhaling down, releasing the pose, releasing your arms, finding a shavasana, maybe grabbing your sweater that's close by. You have a drafty house like I do. Just letting your feet fall side to side, or if you like, bringing your knees up. If you want to bend your knees in shavasana, that's okay. Whatever's feeling good for your lower back. Letting your breath go here. You might sigh out your mouth a little bit. And just allowing your breath to fall into its natural rhythm. Mentally just noting all the parts of your body touching the floor, maybe naming them in your head, starting from your feet and moving up. And I invite you to come back. Start wriggling those toes, fingers. Maybe stretching your arms over your head. Really just moving your body how you need to tonight. Maybe bending the knees if your legs are straight. And then when you're ready, just turning on your side. Resting your head on your arm for a moment. Opening your eyes. Taking a moment to maybe name something you're grateful for, big or small. And bringing yourself to sitting. Thank you all for coming tonight. It's very nice to see you. Peace. 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 Namaste.